Hello, my name is Florence Clemens, and I am the Community Engagement Manager for the Curbside Market Program.
My name is Margaret Lillydahl. I'm the Senior Manager of Nutrition Education.
And my name is Tom Silva, and I'm the Community Advocacy Specialist here at Foodlink.
Foodlink is a food bank located in Rochester, New York. We serve 10 counties in the Finger Lakes region, and our mission is to leverage the power of food to end hunger and build healthier communities.
Foodlink also has 5 core values: collaboration, innovation, stewardship, agility, and compassion. So Rochester is located in the western part of New York. And even though we're surrounded by beautiful Finger Lakes, we still have 52% of our children live in poverty.
Yeah, and across our 10 county service area for the food bank, we've got some of the most agriculturally rich land in this entire part of the country. And we still have 25% of folks being food insecure according to Map the Meal Gap in the city of Rochester.
Yeah, because we cover 10 counties, the partners that we work with and the people that we serve are so diverse. We recently switched our mission statement from serving the community to communities.
Yeah, and people want to be able to eat healthy. They want to be able to afford to eat healthy, and so they want to be empowered to make their own choices, where they, what they buy, and where they shop.
Yeah, and like Flo mentioned, the biggest barrier that we're facing is food access, but that's really a symptom of structural inequality that exists in this region, and there's only so much that we can do on our own.
Mm-hmm. We have 1,000 touch points, within Foodlink itself. So we have our nutrition education, we have the curbside market, we have our front door agencies, we have a lot of people, we have the infrastructure, the culture, the people who want to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And even with all of these resources we have in the food bank, with the rich agricultural area around here, with a lot of healthcare institutions, so many other places, we have all of the people who come through all of the programs that we work with who want to be doing something more than just shopping on curbside, than just taking a class. They want to be able to bring this to other people in their community. And what we hope to be able to do is take those folks and put them in the driver's seat of the programs that we have.
Right. So, we all have personal stakes in this. What's yours, Margaret?
Yeah, so coming from the nutrition world, it tends to be very transactional. Nutrition education can be very one-sided, and I'm really interested in flipping that script and trying to find ways to partner directly with the participants and help them feel more empowered to make changes that are realistic and appropriate for the lives that they live, and can have more long-lasting effects.
Yeah, and on a really basic level, I live in a neighborhood in the city of Rochester where the grocery options are either corner stores and convenience stores or a really nice food cooperative that's even outside of the budget that I make working here, let alone the folks who live at the affordable housing community almost directly across the street there. And when I think about my role in this movement, my role as an ally in the good food movement, I've been trying to really decenter myself and my own plans from these things and try to work hard to amplify the people who have lived experience in food insecurity and poverty and coming up with those solutions.
I think my own personal stake is the fact that I've watched my mother as a social worker work with individuals within the city of Rochester, and her goal was always to help those that are in need, to provide a service that would make them feel good, help them empower themselves to be able to live in an environment that, in a healthier environment. And so my own personal stake is just to make sure that I'm doing, the work that, God has sent us all here to do.
Foodlink was one of the first food banks in the US, and we've come a long way. We started as a very traditional operation, and in our 40 years, we've developed some really innovative programs. We definitely like to take chances and are not afraid to fail.
And these programs, curbside market and nutrition education specifically, reach tens of thousands of people a year. And because of that, we were able to operate on a real, if we build it, they will come mentality of we just show up. Yeah. And we really want to transition from kind of measuring participants and number of pounds that we get out there to really trying to put the work in and building relationships and having grassroots solutions to these problems.
Yeah. So all 3 of us have worked very well together, I would say.
Yeah.
And on many projects. And so based on that, working directly with individuals, it has worked out well.
Yeah.
But when we try to get out there and do it on our own, we notice that things, don't work that well. So for an example, We worked with one of our partners with the WIC truck. Following the WIC truck they thought would be a great idea, but those individuals that they were serving did not want to come and shop because they have no clue what the curbside market truck was.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we learned a lot of lessons from that failure and really being able to put more time into working directly with people who would be shopping on curbside. So right now, we have a program called Curbside Market Ambassadors where we're hiring people who live in the affordable housing communities that we go to do canvassing, to do nutrition education workshops, and do trainings about how curbside works and spread the word through peer-to-peer networks. And the workshops that we've set up in those buildings with the ambassadors have way exceeded the expectations of ones that we've set up without them.
Right.
Yeah, and it's even little simple changes like training our staff in nutrition education to not just show up to workshops with recipes that were picked randomly, but just asking people like, what do you want to learn? What do you want to cook? And just, like Tom said, putting people in the driver's seat of our programs is.
So, the reason why we want to participate, I've been thinking about this and I just kind of wrote something down. We're ready to change our game at Foodlink and how we approach these issues. We've been hitting the same ball for years and not seeing a big change in the structural issues causing food insecurity. I think that is one of our really important pieces of what we want to do to make this change.
Yeah, for sure. Foodlink definitely has a culture of saying yes. We take on new opportunities and are not afraid to even take risks, which has allowed us to grow fast and develop some really innovative programs, but often, moving that quickly and starting things so fast doesn't allow for a lot of reflection, or you can't be so intentional about how things are designed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it, we have been doing really great work, building really great new programs, and at the same time haven't seen those numbers for poverty or food insecurity seriously change in a while. So we need to change the way that we approach this work if we think that we're actually going to truly end hunger, do the thing that's in our mission, right? And we think the way to make that change is to really move our programs from being community-based to community-driven and community-led. Having the people using the programs be at the forefront of deciding how they work and what they are, even if that means changing those programs. And we think that this work can be really transformative to the way that our community food programs work and the way the entire food bank in our service area works, and hopefully scalable to the entire Feeding America network and other organizations like us. And right now, I think this work has results that are pretty unmeasurable to the traditional funder, but are going to bear out in much more impactful ways in the long term. And at the end of the day, we really want to make sure that we are accountable to the people we're serving in the same way that we're normally accountable to regular grant funders. So making sure that they are the ones we go back to confirm that what we're doing is the right kind of work for their neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you've heard a lot from us now in the last couple of minutes, so we want to close it out by letting you hear directly from some of the people who were in the first cohort of Curbside Market Ambassadors about what this work is and what it means to them to be put in the driver's seat of the community. And we've barely begun this work here, and we hope that you want to walk down this road with us.
It gives me a sense of pride to be able to say that, I'm helping the people in my building. I go out and I speak to people around the community about this, where I wouldn't have before. You're doing it for your own self-gratification. You're doing it to better the community. You're doing it to better people's lives. That's about all I can say. It's to help others. You're not doing it for yourself.
We need the curbside market because there are some people that just can't get out and get around as often or as easy as they can. And with the opportunity of the curbside market trucks coming into their neighborhoods, it makes it more available for them to get to it and get what they need without going without, what they really need. So it's an awesome program, and I just love it. And it makes people happy, and that's what makes me happy.